shit regardless.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So your framework is really built off of this cash flow quadrant, which really says, if you're stuck in as an employee, you're never going to get ahead, and you need to kind of move through the quadrant. And really, it's the right side of the quadrant where we want to be, which is a business owner and then an investor. And so that's where we should be trying to get to. We want to have a business to earn income and then investing the income that comes in. And that's the secret, right?
Yeah. So let me show you. This is Rich Dad, Poor Dad, diploma versus financial statement. And this here is book number 2, is the cash flow quadrant. So I like pictures. I flunked out of high school twice, like George.
Yeah.
We're not good at school. But anyway, this is Poor Dad over here. Go to school, get a job. And my mom wanted to become a doctor, a specialist. And I said, hey, Mom, I'm flunking out of school. She goes, you're right. You better not don't become a doctor. You're not going to make it,
Yeah.
And so this is my mom and dad's side, and this was Rich Dad's side here. So B stands for big business, 500 employees or more. But Mark, there's one more word attached to that. It's called a brand.
Mm.
You see, when people ask me, what's your net worth? I say, what is my brand worth?
Right.
It's worth billions because I am all over the world. That's not a mistake. And I stands for inside investor.
Okay.
You see, when you buy a stock bond or a mutual fund, you're outside. And so the thing is I always wanted to be the inside. So my poor dad and my poor mom, they're great people. They're always on the outside. They didn't know how they were being screwed.
Right.
And so what I had to do, once I bought that gold coin in Hong Kong after looking for gold in Vietnam, I wanted to come across onto this side. This was Rich Dad's side.
Right.
So I knew I had to build a brand. Now, it took me years to do it. I failed so many times. But, I don't know, people don't even know this. New York Times took me off the bestseller list because I was on it for almost 7 years.
Wow.
They said, gotta be fair, let somebody else get on there. Well, it's still on the bestseller list internationally.
Wow.
But, those commie, pinko, liberal, left, fascist, Marxist, they don't like it if you're talking about capitalism and getting rich. They hate
Right.
you. They'd rather have you AOC, Ocasio-Cortez, and Bernie Sanders and all that, and they're entitled to their point of view.
Right.
I'm a capitalist. I'm not a socialist, and I was killing communists. So if I want to kill communists, I should just come home to the States. There's
Right.
more here. I don't get tolerated for that one too,
Yeah. Well, so we want to move to the right side of that, which is the business owner. So we want to have a business that gives us leverage over our time, over other people's time, and allows us to create the income, and then take the income and invest it into the investment quadrant, which is then should be providing us with cash flow to live, so we don't have to work anymore.
Well, I think you're already doing it, George. Mark. It's that my business, I build assets.
Right.
So you look at Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I have no money into the book, and it sells 1 million copies a year at $5 a book. Now, the math is tough. That's $5 million a year just from one book.
Mm-hmm.
So the cash is flowing this way. The reason I went into real estate is because I'm an insider. I cannot do this in stocks. So I come on to the inside here. And so let's have $1 million here. I come down here and I marry it with $4 million in debt. So I buy a $5 million real estate property that
Right.
throws off cash flow.
Right.
But because I've stepped up my basis from 1 million to 5 million with 4 million in debt, I depreciate it. And because I depreciate it, I pay no taxes. And that's what Trump is saying. They said, you only paid $750 in taxes. I said, because he's a real estate guy.
Right.
The only reason you get into real estate is there's 2 reasons for real estate. Debt, I use debt to buy. Then I pay no taxes, and then the cash flow is tax-free.
Right.
It's just common sense.
Right.
But that's what my rich dad taught me. And my poor dad and mom on this side is get a job and go to school and work hard and save money and pay taxes. That's not what I want to do. But it's a free country. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah, you can. Everyone's free to overpay if they want.